Sometimes the fragrance alone will get you that number. What's up, my cherry bombs? On today's video, we're going to be talking about the top 10 fall fragrances for men. Now, you guys know that I'm always sharing female fragrances, but I do recognize that we do have men that watches this channel. So we're going to be talking about some fragrances that is perfect for the fall time. Now, you guys know that I am a fragrance lover, so I love any type of fragrances, women fragrances and men fragrances. These are some fragrances that I have in my collection that I think that are perfect for men, and I had to take some of my husband's collection too, so I can share with you guys because some of these are a little bit too masculine leading. So let's get right into this video. The first fragrance that I've really been enjoying this fall time on men and on my husband is from Dunhill, and it is Icon Absolute. Oh, this fragrance is really nice. It is perfect for the crisp fall weather, especially while it is transitioning to fall. And I like this fragrance because it has a black pepper note in the top, and then it has bergamot. So it's a little bit spicy at the top and it's citrusy. And then you get into the mid where you have saffron. Now, y'all know saffron is such a sexy note. And in this fragrance, you get saffron, you get black pepper, you get oud, you get bergamot. And in this fragrance, it also reminds me of oud wood. So if you're a fan of Tom Ford oud wood, but you could never justify spending that price tag on oud wood, Icon Absolute from Dunhill is perfect. Now, this next fragrance is a beautiful one as well. It's very alluring and it's very sexy, especially for the fall time, and it's from TheCherysTv, and it is Continuum. This one has musk, suede, tobacco leaf, orris root, amber. This is the perfect fall fragrance in my opinion. Now, when you first spray this on, you get a burst of tobacco and amber in this fragrance. Oh, I sprayed it on my arm. And then you get some mandarin orange that gives it a little tanginess. But all in all, the dry down is my favorite part of this fragrance. Suede note in the dry down. And once you get to the dry down, it's super smooth and it's like a smooth ride. It lasts all day. It blasts in the face. This is a really affordable fragrance. This was gifted to me from SoAvantGarde, and I love it. This is one that my husband loves to wear, especially for date night and every day. Something about the amber, the oud, and the tobacco leaf in this fragrance. Now, it has an orris root note in it, and orris always comes off as makeup-y, almost powdery to me, which I don't have a problem with, but in the beginning of my journey, I had a problem with it. Now, in this fragrance, you do not get that makeup vibe, but you do get that powdery note, and the powdery note in this combined with the suede is perfect. So it's not like a powder bomb, but it's there to balance out the fragrance. If you're looking for the perfect fall fragrance, TheCherysTv's Continuum is really, really good. Now, we're gonna take it back a little bit, and this one is gonna always be one of my favorites on my husband, hands down, and it's from YSL. And y'all know YSL fragrances are always amazing. If you're looking for a really nice signature scent for this fall time, then this one is the perfect one, and it is YSL EDP. It's a very beautiful aromatic fragrance. It opens up with ginger at the top with apple. Wow. Now, ginger is a little spicy and it's a little bit leaning oriental in my opinion. That's my humble opinion, and I like that. Paired with the apple in this fragrance is beautiful. Now, when I first smelled this fragrance, I smelled it on a cop, and he was walking past me, and I smelled him a little bit, but when he walked past, the sillage smacked me, and I walked to him. I said, "I'm sorry, but what are you wearing?" And he said, "YSL." And at the time, it was really new to the market. There was no Le Parfum, there was no La Fresh, there was no EDT. It was the original YSL. Listen, EDP. And when I tell y'all, this is sexy. It has juniper berries, and one of my husband's favorite notes in a fragrance I noticed is juniper, because fragrances that he has in his collection that has juniper in it is just amazing. He loves it, and this one is just another one that I can always add onto the list as far as signature scent. In the base, it has tonka bean and cedar, so you can never go wrong with tonka bean. Y'all know I made a tonka bean video, so if you don't know what tonka bean is, I'll link it up right here for you guys, but definitely YSL is the perfect one for you guys. The next fragrance on this list is a leather fragrance. Now, if you are a fan of leather, then this is the leather fragrance that you must have in your collection, and it is Ombre Leather. Leather is a note that people struggle with, but honestly, honestly believe that if you have this leather fragrance in your collection, the ladies will go crazy. It has a cardamom note at the top. Then you get leather and jasmine. And y'all know jasmine is a beautiful, sexy, alluring type of fragrance note. Anything with jasmine is sexy. So imagine this one with jasmine, with cardamom, which is a little bit spicy and nutty in my opinion. And then the base is amber, moss, and patchouli. Moss and amber in a fragrance, especially a man's fragrance, is always what gets me, to be honest with you guys. And when I smelled this, it smelled like a buttery new leather jacket, a leather belt, a brand new leather car. It is so smooth. It's so beautiful. It doesn't have any fruits in it, such as raspberry or strawberry, like y'all know that usually is in a leather fragrance, to kind of balance it out. It really did its thing with this leather and this fragrance, and the jasmine just made it even more sexy. So if you're trying to be sexy and you're trying to go out and you want a fragrance that lasts long, then Ombre Leather is perfect for you fellas. This next fragrance is a woody, spicy fragrance, and this fragrance is one that I bought for myself. But when my husband smelled it and I tested it out on him, at that point it was established that it was his fragrance. Even though he still lets me display it on my case, but it is his fragrance. It is a unisex fragrance, but it's one of those fragrances that you like it on you, but when a man puts it on, baby, you just cannot contain yourself. And this is a perfect fragrance to buy your boo. And if you're a guy and you're watching this, this is the perfect fragrance to stand out. And it is Tom Ford Fougère de Gent. Even though Tom Ford brings out beautiful masculine fragrances, I'm not gonna overpower you guys with the Tom Fords. This is the second Tom Ford on the list and the last one. This is Fougère de Gent. It's a warm, spicy fragrance. Here goes. It has lavender and ginger. Y'all see that ginger note? Every fragrance that has a ginger note, in my opinion, is super sexy, especially in the men's fragrance. What really makes me fall in love with this fragrance over and over every single time I spray this fragrance is the lavender, the ginger, and the agar wood. Now, it does have other notes such as mandarin orange and cumin, but in my opinion, those are just notes that they just threw in there just to balance it out. You really get a prominent ginger and lavender and oud note. And when I tell you, oh, every time I smell this, it makes me just want to jump. It's so good. Imagine a lady walks up to you fellas and she's like, wow, you smell good. And she says, what do you have on? You said Tom Ford Fougère de Gent. What do you think she's gonna say after that? Like, sometimes the fragrance alone will get you that number. And if you're trying to get that number, Tom Ford Fougère de Gent is the perfect one to add into your fragrance wardrobe. So this next fragrance is a little bit on the pricier side, I'm not gonna lie. I did share some pricey fragrances, I'm not even gonna lie, but this one is a little bit more pricier than average. This is a niche fragrance, of course, but this fragrance is such a sexy fragrance. I would highly recommend you guys to sniff it before you buy it. If you can go to your nearest Saks or Neiman's, then you will definitely want to check this one out. This is a fragrance that when I smelled it, I just instantly fell in love, and I sprayed it on my husband. And I was so excited when I sprayed this. I was like, babe, I found my new fragrance. And I sprayed it on him. He said, okay, let me see. I sprayed it on him and he was like, no, babe, I think I found my new fragrance. And it's a gender bending fragrance. It's a unisex fragrance, so a man and a woman could wear it. But baby, my husband had to put this in his collection because it's so sexy. It's from Perfumes, the Marley, and it is Halen. At the top of this fragrance, you get spices, blood orange, and black pepper. Now, it's very spicy at the opening, but trust me and believe me, once that spice toned down, it becomes one of the most sexiest fragrances that you can have in your collection. It has lavender and orange blossom, but the star of this fragrance is the dry down, where you have moss, tonka bean, amber, sandalwood, which is white sandalwood, and other woody notes such as mahogany and ebony, all those other woody notes that you probably, you know, it's just, I feel like they just took a whole bunch of woods and put it in this. This right here, it's so sexy. Now, the opening will scare you away, trust me, but put it on your skin, let it dry, and you're gonna be like, wow. By the time you spray this on and you go to the car, it will start to dry down, and baby, it's sexy. Some fragrances you just gotta let dry down, you just gotta let it work. And this is one of those, but I promise you, once you get to that beauty of the base and the dry down is beautiful. This is one that if a man is wearing this, I will stop you and say, you smell good. I'll stop you and say you smell good, and I know you spent a pretty penny on that fragrance. Kaylin by Parfums de Marley is a must-have for you fellas this fall. Next fragrance on this list is from Maison Margiela, and Maison Margiela is a fragrance house that I'm really loving, especially for their sensual, dark, and heavy fragrances that's for the fall time. And this one is a gorgeous one, and I'm sure a lot of you guys probably heard about it, but if it's your first time, don't worry, I got you. It is by the Fireplace. A little background about Maison Margiela. It's called Replica because they replicate different times and moods and sceneries that you've been in the past. It's almost like deja vu. So imagine being in New York in cold weather and you stop by a coffee shop, get you a cup of coffee, and then they have a burning fireplace right there. And then you see people sitting like that by the fireplace. And then when you get home, you turn on your fireplace and you're just like this, sipping on your whiskey, whatever have you, and you're just enjoying the cold, beautiful night. This is what this is. So at the top you get clove, orange blossom, and pink pepper. And at the top I don't get the clove, but I feel like the smoky aspect of this fragrance is coming from the clove, but it's not like a clove where you bite into it and you're just like, oh. And then you get chestnut, kayak wood, you get juniper. There you go. There goes that juniper again. Listen, you guys, juniper is so sexy. Then in the base you get Peru blossom, chestnut, and vanilla, and cashmerian. You guys, if you're looking for the perfect fall fragrance, then this one is it. Now this next fragrance is a beautiful, sexy one. It's another aromatic, woody fragrance, and I find that I love woody, spicy fragrances on my husband. And this one is Dolce Gabbana from Bois 1920. This is another pricey, expensive, niche type of fragrance. But this one has pink pepper, it has bergamot, it has kayak wood, vanilla, cedar. It has tons of notes. But this one, simply put, smells like autumn. It smells like the fresh air of autumn while the leaves are falling and pine cones. It's such a really nice fragrance. You get that spicy aspect in the top, then you get a little bit of warmth. And when you really get to the base, you get a great green, warm fragrance. Now, one thing about this fragrance is that it does not come to plate. I also got this one from SoAvantGarde. They sent this to me, but you can definitely test this out. I don't think you could test this out in stores, but it's a really nice, safe blind buy for men fragrances, specifically if you like spicy, woody, aromatic fragrances. Now, one thing about this one, it is a standout and it's a powerhouse. My husband wore this yesterday as his scent of the day, and he came home after an 8-hour shift and he smelled so delicious that I literally wanted to jump on him. I really did. And I was like, what did you wear today? And he said, this one. And I was just like, oh my God. So it wouldn't be a list if I didn't add a Mugler fragrance in it, because y'all know Mugler is iconic for gourmand fragrances. And this is a nice, beautiful fragrance for the men. And it is Alien Man Pure Malt. Think of a espresso martini. This is what this gives me. This is a fragrance that I always wear myself. Honestly, it has the most tint because of me. Oh my God. The coffee note in this fragrance is just so beautiful. It's not like a raw roasted coffee note, but it's like a cappuccino. Like, it's so sexy. And then you get that warmth from the amber, the muskiness from the musk, and then you have the vanilla in this fragrance, which makes it the ultimate sexy date night fragrance for the fall time for a man. Now, this is not a safe blind buy. Even though you can find it for a really good price on FragranceNet, it is not a safe blind buy because I feel like this is a fragrance that is more for a fragrance lover versus a man that is looking for an every single day, all year round, one signature scent fragrance. This is not that one for you. This is a fragrance that you have to wear at a time and a specific place. And I just love this on my husband, especially during the fall time when we're going to dinner parties, when we're going to, Thanksgiving parties, when we're going to Christmas parties and stuff like that. This fragrance really goes to work and it just makes him stand out. And if you're trying to stand out, and if you're a woman, you can honestly wear this too because it's so sexy. Oh, it's so beautiful. It's such a really great, rich gourmand fragrance from the house of Mugler. And this next fragrance is one of my favorites on this list. It's pretty new. It's an exclusive fragrance, so you can only get it at the website and another website. This was a fragrance that I received in the summertime, but I was so eager to wear it. When I sprayed it on my skin, I was like, oh my God, this is definitely for the fall time. This is a fragrance that is definitely unisex. It is sexy on a man, let me tell you, and it's sexy on a woman. And this one is Eddik's Ombre Safrano. Now this is another niche fragrance offering. This is amber, this is saffron, this is smoky notes, tobacco. Oh my God, now this fragrance right here, it has vanilla in it too. This is a fragrance that I find so mouth-watering, so sexy, so smoky. This is a fragrance that if a man wears this by you, he will literally stop you at your tracks. And if you're the type of person that don't mind giving someone a compliment, you'll definitely give him that compliment. This is a fragrance that's in the same lines of by the Fireplace. It is such a smoky, incensey fragrance for the fall time and the winter time. Now, I see you wearing this with a black tie in New York, going to a Christmas ball, and you spray this confidently, knowing that everyone in the room is gonna be like, who is that smelling so good? This is that fragrance. It's such a really good one. Now you can only get this on the BDK website and at SoAvantGarde because they now exclusively have it. And y'all know I have a discount code, so please be sure to check the description box below for all my discount codes. If you're trying to stand out, this is the one for you. Thank you so much for joining me here yet again. If you'd like to see more men fragrances, go ahead and comment down below and let me know so I can make more videos for you guys. If you're looking for the perfect fall fragrances, these are my top 10 right now. If you guys would like to see a part 2 because I have others to share, go ahead and comment down below. Until we see each other again, please, please, please stay safe and keep on smelling fragrances. Bye, Cherry Bombs.